Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got a couple of things we got to talk about. One is there are a couple of transfer portal targets that USC needs to absolutely target in the transfer portal, given what Alabama is going through right now in the midst of their coaching search and coaching staff changes. Listen, there are two guys. One guy named is Caden Proctor. I want to look at him, and then another guy named is LT Overton. Both of them were highly recruited guys. Both of them are highly productive guys and guys that USC would absolutely can utilize. And I'm gonna say this: you guys already know that there were two guys that we were going after as of late. One is the Oregon State defensive lineman Sione, and then the other one was Durrett, Javier Durrett. And both of those guys coincidentally committed to different schools. One, Sione, committed to Florida State. And then we're going to talk about Florida State today because they're lost in the sauce. They got some crazy infraction stuff going on. So we'll talk about them as well. But one committed to Florida State, and the other committed to Javier Durrett, committed to Kansas. So both of those guys are off the board. So you guys already know we still need some interior players on both sides of the ball. We could use a defensive line guy like this guy, LT, and I want to take a look at his information real quick.
To get back in the
let you guys see exactly who he is, man. This is LT right here, and listen, it is straight up go time with a kid like this, man. He can absolutely move and groove, and I'm gonna show you some of his film real quick. This is a monstrous guy. Come, take a look at this kid, and USC needs this kid. Being that we lost these two defensive line prospects that we were projected to probably get. And listen, I don't know. Sione, I'm not sure what happened with him. Is it NIL? I don't know. We're going to talk about NIL with Florida State because they're in some serious trouble right now. So, but USC can use this kid. He was the number one coming out of high school. He was actually rated very, very high. On the season, he had 17 tackles, 6 solo tackles, and he was one of those guys that reclassified, end up getting in that big 2022 class. And so then he went to Texas A&M, was productive. Of course, with Jimbo Fisher, that situation happened. And then now he just committed to Alabama. So now we should see multiple guys getting in the transfer portal, given what happened to those guys at Alabama with the coach retiring. And I think this is a guy that USC can go after and will go after in the event that this happens, that these guys hit the portal. So that's one guy. It's LT Overton. Now we want to take a look at this other guy here, and he is absolutely a monster guy. Let me pull him up for you real quick. This guy right here. You talking about a monster guy? His name is Caden Proctor. Caden Proctor stands at 6'7", 360 pounds. He's out of the state of Iowa. USC absolutely went after him, and I think USC can really, really, really use a guy like this. 6'7", 360 pounds. And as a freshman, check this out. As a freshman, he was a top offensive prospect in that particular recruiting class, but he was selected to all SEC freshman team by the conference coaches, earned a starting job at left tackle during the fall camp, and has maintained that role all 13 games, had 20 knockdown blocks across 700. Listen to this. 743 snaps. Wow. He earned SEC Freshman of the Week recognition for his play at Auburn. Also, he was selected as one of the Alabama coaching staff Offensive Players of the Week following LSU Auburn. Also, Middle Tennessee, he recorded 1 knockdown block, helped the Tide rush for 226 rushing yards while accounting for a total of 431 yards. So listen, this kid is absolutely once he got in there in the fall, it was straight up go time. I don't see how you can stop a guy that's 6'7", 360 pounds anyway. I think he's a guy that's gonna come in and immediately hit the starting role. I mean, you can't miss out on a guy like this. So right now we know as far as the Alabama situation goes, we know that Dan Lennon already said that he's not going for that job. Now, as far as Kalen DeBoer, it looks like it could be him, maybe Lane Kiffin, who knows? But right now, the coaching situation is very, very is very unstable as it relates to Alabama right now. So we should see some guys, as I stated yesterday, I brought to you. They've already had some guys to decommit already. So I think USC can absolutely capitalize on that. And we just got to jump on it though ASAP, man. We can't play around with the situation like this. And this is a situation where you give the bag. I mean, we talked about this, and I'm not even going to address the whole NIL thing as it relates to on our end and where we stand at with USC, because right now I think that we're winning in some areas, but then we're losing in some areas of the NIL. I was listening to Spencer. I can't remember his last name, who represents the House of Victory. That he just kind of made reference to where USC was on NIL. We're winning in some areas, and in some areas we're losing. Some areas we need to catch up. Some areas we want to be careful. And with that being said, we're going to talk about this situation real quick. That's Caden Proctor, but we're going to talk about this situation, and that is this, which is Florida State. Florida State absolutely being all the way lost in the sauce. And they listen, they're receiving level 2 violations right now from NIL. And I'm going to get into this right now. The NCAA is absolutely, let me bring this back real quick. The NCAA is absolutely penalizing them for the current NIL situation. And what it is that apparently, here's the article right here. The NCAA is punishing Florida State for recruiting violation tied to NIL collective from Rising Spears in the recruitment of Georgia offensive lineman Amarius Mims. And apparently the offensive coordinator, Alex Atkins, is found to have committed 2 level 2 violations. So let me tell you their penalties, and this is all stemming from NIL. So listen, this whole NIL thing, I mean, it's something that, of course, we have to get right. A lot of us are frustrated. None of us know exactly how to, and I'm sure the coaching staff is the same way. None of us know how to approach this NIL space right now. And I think USC is absolutely has to be careful. And we see what's happening with Florida State. But here's some of the ramifications behind that. It's going to be 2 years of probation. Probation includes further educating coaches on NCAA compliance, informing perspectives in the football program, and writing that institution is on probation for 2 years, and detail the violations committed. Hold on, let me get to these actual. Oh, here it is right here. Here's the restriction. It says a restriction from off-campus recruiting during the fall 2023 for the assistant coach. That's the offensive line. That's the offensive coordinator. A 3-year disassociation from the booster. Nobody can contact that booster, so I don't know how their funding is going to be taking place as it relates to Florida State anymore. A 1-year disassociation from the collective. A $5,000 fine plus 1% of the football budget. A 5% reduction in football scholarships over the 2-year probationary period, amounting in a total reduction of 5 scholarships, a reduction in official paid visits in the football program in the 2023 and 2024 academic year by 7. The school also will not roll over 6 unused official visits from the 2022-2023 academic year. And also a reduction in the football recruiting communications for a total of 6 weeks during the 2023-24 and the 2024-25 academic year. A reduction in the number of in-person recruiting days during the 2023-2024 academic year by 6 evaluation days during the 2023 and 18 during the spring. So that is Florida State situation. Florida State is currently lost in the sauce. Crazy, and oddly enough, we just talked about Sione. He just transferred there. And so now that situation is all the way crazy. I don't know what's going to happen with that. The whole NIL space, we want to be up to par. We want to be winning within the NIL space. But the question is this, how far do we go as it relates to NIL, and how deep in the waters do we want to go as it relates to that? Because, I mean, you see now Florida State is being penalized, and that is a situation that USC absolutely does not need to be in anymore. We've been there, done that. Now, moving on to, let me get to this. This is, I don't know if you guys can really see this, but I'll just kind of read it out to you. This is the top coaching candidates. Well, these are the top coaches rather in the country right now, and this is a list that came out by 24/7 Sports, and I have a huge problem with this because let me see if I can get it on my end a little clearer. Let's see, but I don't know if you guys can see this real clear. But the first one is going to be Georgia Kirby Smart, and the second one is going to be Michigan Harbaugh, and then LSU Brian Kelly. And then, of course, you're going to have Dabo Swinney down there. And forgive me for it being small, but then you're going to have Ohio State, Ryan Day. And, of course, you're going to have Mike Norvell, which is the Florida State coach. And you're going to have Steve Sarkisian, the Texas coach. And then you're going to have Lane Kiffin. And then you're going to have Dan Lanning. But nobody has Lincoln Riley on there. Are you serious? Here's what I want to understand. Lincoln Riley has one bad year, and everybody's throwing him under the bus. Can anybody explain that to me? Are we just totally just discrediting him? Are we totally taking away everything that he's done in his career? Because how do you put Dan Lanning? How do you put even Lane Kiffin? How do you put Steve Sarkisian? Lincoln Riley's been to the playoff a couple of times. Steve Sarkisian makes it 1 year. Didn't he win 7 games last year? Last year, and was it the year before? And now you want to crown him? Dan Lanning hasn't even won a playoff game. He hasn't even made it to a playoff game. So I need somebody to explain that one to me. Of course, you give Kirby Smart, you give Jim Harbaugh, but Brian Kelly, what has Brian Kelly done? What has he done in the playoffs? What makes him such a great coach right now? That's Dabo Swinney. We can give him his credit. But right now, I mean, for them to disrespect right now, but it's okay because we keeping receipts. And one thing I can say about Lincoln Riley is, as I brought to you guys yesterday about Roy Manning, you guys go look at that video if you haven't seen it. Roy Manning is out of there. Lincoln Riley is now officially positioning himself to be around some quality coaches, and now he's got a superstar staff right now that's going to catapult him into another dimension right now, because I've always said that Lincoln Riley, if he can even just come close to having just an average defense, he's going to the playoffs. So we keeping all receipts. Lincoln Riley is surrounding himself, and you guys know, as I mentioned last night rather, in the Roy Manning not here anymore. Parting ways with USC. They're bringing on a guy, and I told you guys this yesterday, from the St. Louis Rams, and Eric Henderson. And I'm telling you right now, that guy has a crazy experience, and it's going to be straight up go time, man. And listen, man, there was a lot of emotions yesterday as it relates to Roy Manning, as I stated last night in the video. So you guys go back and watch that. But listen, USC moved on, and now they're moving and grooving to another level. So look, man, I think you guys can hit me in the comments. You guys tell me what you think. Hey, everybody have a happy Friday. Have a blessed Friday. I'm out of here, man. Any breaking news, you guys know I'm coming. So until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. Don't forget, make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.